Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know you missed me, I miss you all too. So if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. I love you right back. But if you are new here and you've not subscribed, this is your first time on my channel, welcome. Akwaba, I'm Ifia Prep, as you all know. So I am back again with another juicy story. This thing happened when I was, is it either 13 or 14? I think I was 14. 14 years. Yes, this thing happened when I was 14 years, but I still remember because it is an extraordinary thing that I don't want to talk much here. So you know how we do it. Before we enter the story time world, you'd have to push this intro away. We'd have to swipe. So let's do something like 1, 2, 3, let's go. Swipe. No, we have to swipe here. Last time we swiped there. This we are going here. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Swipe. So we're six living in the house, with the exception of my dad, and then my sister, my mom, my grandma, myself, my brother, and then my uncle. But my sister and brother were at the boarding house, so we're just left with like four: my mother, myself, grandma, and then uncle. My mom has a shop, so she always leaves the house around 7 a.m. and then returns around 10 p.m. Do you get it? And then my grandma is obviously old, so she's always in her bedroom or watching TV. But on that particular day, I think my grandma had traveled, so it was just my mom, myself, and then my uncle. So my mom left for the shop in the morning as usual, like a normal routine. So she left, and then left with I was left with just my uncle in the house. So it was myself and then my uncle in the house. I used to vibe with that particular uncle of mine. So one afternoon, my mom had left for the shop as usual, so I was left with my uncle in the house. Like, we were two alone in the house, and I was watching TV in the afternoon. It was around 2 p.m. I was watching TV when he called me to come over for us to play a game as usual. So I just quickly turned off the TV and then went over to his bedroom. Don't mind the background noise. Today is Sunday, and then as usual, kitchen stuff. So I went to his room to play this particular game. I've forgotten the name of the game, but I can describe how the game is played. When you play and then you win, the girl will take her top off. And when you play again and you win, she take her trousers off. When you play and you win, she take her bra off. So like, once you are winning, she'll be taking some her clothes off till you win, like till she gets naked. So you have to make sure to win all the rounds before she gets naked. You can see her boobs, her private parts, and all of that. Like, that's the game. That is the game, and that game is not meant for kids. Yes, that's why I've remembered the name, but I'm not going to mention the name of the game because I know you go and download and play. You make sure you win so that the girl will go naked in front of you. So he was teaching me how to play the game, and I was finding some difficulties in playing the game. So he played and he won. The girl took her top off, and then it was really fun. So I was wearing a dress. Like, I'm someone who doesn't like wearing jeans, and I usually prefer easy wear, like easy wear. I'll just throw on some dress and then off I go. My uncle always goes to the shop at 6 p.m. to help my mother pack. So when it was 6 p.m., he told me to go and then escort him to the gate, like our gate, so that he goes to the shop. So when we were going, he carried me at his back. So when we got to the gate, my uncle asked me where my feelings is, like which part of my body suits me. Do you get it? Which part of my body? So when he asked me, mind you, I was just 14 years and I didn't really know much about that aspect. So when he asked me, I was like, I don't know where my feelings, I don't know which part of my body, I don't know whether it's my neck, my feelings is my neck, or I don't know. I've never thought of it, and like I don't have a boyfriend, so like I don't know. And he was like, his his own is under his leg. I mean his right leg or left, I don't know, it's under his leg. This part, I don't know, this part. That is where his feelings is, under his leg. So when anytime a girl touches his feet, or like he feels, he gets horny. He gets that was what he told me, and I was like, hey. And I laughed, and I was like, okay, me there, I don't know, maybe I'm young, so I've not gotten to where you are, so I wouldn't know. So that is it. And then he said it's either under his feet or in his hair, like when you put your hands through his hair and then you touch his hair, like, yeah, you play with his hair, it also turns him on. And I was like, oh. Then we all laughed, and then he said he's going to the shop, so he left. And then I went back to the house. The next day he called me, he called me to come to his room. Immediately I entered his room, he locked his door. That was so awkward. Why would you lock your door? He locked the door, but he didn't take the key off. But when he locked his door, I was feeling weird, because when I always go to his room, he doesn't lock his door. So why is it that this time around, when I just entered, you locked the door? Like, I didn't really get it, but I didn't react. So, and mind you, I was in a dress too, and I hadn't taken my bath that day, so I was just in a dress with no bra, no nothing under the dress. So after he locked the door, he told me to sleep on his bed, and I was like, no, why should I sleep on the bed? I'm actually going to take my bath, so when I finish taking my bath, I'll come for us to play the game. And then he carried me, like he held me like this, he carried me, and then he was trying to put me on his bed, and I stood on the bed. Me too, I didn't want to lie down, because I knew I had nothing under the dress. Immediately he puts me down, pay any free show, lala sulala. So me too, I had to fight and then be strong. I was just 14 years, I hadn't even menstruated, mind you. I wasn't menstruating at the age of 14, so I was purely virgin. And I am still purely
Yo, na stomach fishy.
so he was trying to put me on his bed, and I was standing on the bed. To me, I didn't want to lie down. Oh yeah, I want to lie down. So me, I was standing on the bed. He was trying to push me, and I kicked this thing, his this thing. I kicked it. I kicked his manhood, and then opened the door. He was coming after me, so I just ran into the kitchen. I just ran to the kitchen, because the kitchen was opposite his room. So immediately I got out of his room, I went straight to the kitchen to take a knife, and I told him when he comes closer to me, I'll cut his manhood like sausage and then fry and chew. So he shouldn't come close to me, because I would do it. But meanwhile, I was shaky, like my hands were shaking, my voice was shaking, I was scared. So when I said that, he was like, oh chill, calm down. Then he went back to his bedroom. When he went back to his bedroom, I was moving like this with a knife, and then I ran to my room, and then I locked it. I never came out till it was around 6 p.m. when it was time for him to leave to the shop. So when he was going, he came to knock, and then I told him he should go and stand outside and talk to me, because there's no way I'm going to open the door. So he went to stand outside, and he was like, he begs me, when my mother comes home, I shouldn't tell her, otherwise it will be court case. He knows how strict and how my mom wouldn't joke with this kind of issue. So when my mom comes, I shouldn't tell her, because it will turn into a court case. so I shouldn't tell my mom. And then I was like, oh, don't worry. You know me there, me and you there, we vibe. You know how we vibe. You know how we click. You know how I like you so much. So I don't want it to be any court case. So when she comes, don't worry. I'm not going to tell her. Don't worry. You can go. Feel free. I'm not telling my mom. You should just feel free and then go to the shop. So when it was then, and I had a pepe at the gate. I knew it was it was definitely my mom. So I went to open the gate for them. They came inside, and then our prepaid was off. So when they were coming, they bought prepaid, and then my mom gave me the card to load it. Like I should put the card on the meter. So when I was doing that, he came to stand behind me and was like, please, I beg you, don't go and tell your mother, otherwise it will turn into a court case. She'll take it to the court, they'll get me arrested and all of that. And I was like, oh, don't worry, I said I won't tell her, trust me, I won't tell her, I'm that secretive, so I am not going to sell you out, because you're my favorite uncle, so I am not going to sell you out. So you weren't supposed to do that. If you were in the mood to do that, your girlfriend was always coming over, so why didn't you simply call her to come over for you to do the sokode? But rather you wanted to have me, your niece, who is even like below 18. Like, why would you think like that? Why would you do that? So I just put the prepaid on the machine or whatever, and then on the meter, and then I went to my mother's room. When I got to my mother's room, I just went to sit in front of her dressing mirror. Me, I didn't say anything. I said nothing. Hey, the accent is coming, Bisan. I said nothing. I just went to sit in front of her dressing mirror, and then I was just sitting down like that. She was taking her clothes off. She was doing some things, and then she was like, why, what's wrong with you? Immediately, when I'm quiet, I'm that type of person that when I'm quiet, you would automatically or eventually know there's something bothering me. If that thing is way beyond me, I'll just be quiet. Because me, I like talking, I like goofing around, I like making people laugh and all of that. I don't. If I'm quiet, that means there's something wrong or I'm on my phone. But if I'm just sitting down without texting or watching videos, and I'm just down like this or my bed like this, then you should know there's something bothering me. So when my mom saw me in that position, like in that situation, she asked me what the matter was, and I was like, oh, nothing. And she said, no, talk to me. She calls me bestie. No, you know you're my bestie. You shouldn't hide anything from me. So tell me what's wrong, what's bothering you. Why not you, baby? You know my mom. And then I was like, when you left for the shop, Uncle so Uncle Biscuit called me to come to his room. Immediately I entered his room. He locked his door. He was trying to put me on his bed, and then even a day before, he asked me where my feelings is, and then I told him I don't know if I have feelings or not. And then he told me his feelings is his feelings is in under his feet, and then in his hair, like when you touch his hair. And then my mom was like, really? So what happened today? And then I proceeded with the story. I told her that he wanted to rape me because he was putting me on the bed, but me too, I wasn't in panties.
Yo, na stomach fishy.
So I stood firm on his bed, and then I kicked his manhood, opened the door, and then ran to the kitchen to take knife. So I threatened him that if he gets closer or close to me, I would cut off his manhood and then fry or roast it. So that's how come he couldn't take advantage of me, or he couldn't rape me. I didn't even finish talking. I didn't finish talking. Then my mom just stormed. She got out of her room, went to my uncle's bedroom, and was like, "Una now be a day no, una now be a day no, be raping me, but no, you come to rape my daughter, my daughter. You want to rape my precious daughter? You want to rape my precious daughter?" And then she talked plenty. my mom, it was around 11. No, my mom called my dad. My dad was talking, like they were talking. My mom told my uncle the next morning she would just go straight to the police station to report to the police, because why would you do that? Like, why on earth would you even think of raping your own niece who is even below 18? I was below 15, sir. Like, why would you do that? And then my mom talked, she told me that I didn't go out though, because me, I promised my uncle I wasn't going to tell my mother, so I didn't even want to see his face for him to be like, hey, you, oh, like, I didn't want to see his face, I didn't want to see his reaction. And he didn't even react. Like, what would you do? Like, what could he have done? You've already done it, and then it has happened.
Say it has happened. Say it has happened. Say it has happened.
My mother was like, you want to use your big manhood to end to rape my daughter who has not even gotten her menses. You want to rape her for me, my daughter that I carried for 9 good months, my precious sumptuous. When she entered the room, she was like, are you okay? Didn't he touch you? Then I'm so, no, he didn't touch me. That time to my breast was coming, so it wasn't big like this, but it was kind of okay big. It was like the salomango. My breast was like salomango, not the bigger salomango, like the medium size salomango, but now it's not that big. I don't know, now it's like medium watermelon. Fast forward, early in the morning, woke up around, my mom woke up around 6. When she woke up, she was talking plenty. Then she came to my room and was saying, you know, your uncle has run away. I was like, hey, you don't say it. My uncle ran away at dawn. My mom said it was around 3. Like, when she heard the gates, when she heard someone opening the gate, and then she checked the phone, it was 3:05. Up till now, we've not heard from him. We don't know his whereabouts. Like, we know nothing. We don't know his whereabouts. We don't hear from him. So that was what happened. And then from that day, my dad was like, anytime my mom is leaving for the shop and then my grandma is not around and nobody is around, she should just take me along. So I was always at the shop with my mom, because my daddy said my mom cannot leave only me in the house like that. What if? So that was how come I saved myself from being raped at an early age. I want to tell someone here today, that you watching me, that when you find yourself in such situation, when you find yourself in a difficult situation, when you find yourself in trouble, you should be strong, you should be courageous, you should do it for your own self, you should do it for your own good. If you find yourself in such situations, you should be strong, you should do something to defend yourself. If possibly, just hit him with something, or hit that person with anything you find around you. I want to tell you watching me to be strong, to be courageous, to be bold, and then confident. Okay, don't let anyone take advantage of you. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and then most importantly, subscribe. Bye.